Hey team, it's another Monday, and as you can see, it's early and it's also cold. I just read an interesting piece of literature, wisdom literature, really scripture, and it's caused me to think about two things this morning: anxiety and resiliency. Wherever you go, whoever you talk to right now, you can feel the anxiety in a very palpable manner. And for some reason, there's a lot going on in people's minds and people's heads. But I want you to understand that you can find whatever it is inside of you based upon that connection that can help you to find some buoyancy, which really is resiliency. Life is going to come at you hard, but you always got to remember, it's like riding a bicycle. To maintain balance, you got to keep moving. You got what it takes. You have what it takes. It's not about trying to figure everything out, but it's about understanding that if you keep moving, it's going to be fine. When life comes at you this week, remember, in the words of John Kabat-Zinn, he says, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf. Yeah, it's another Monday, but you stay motivated.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Eric Dinnenberg, whole health physician at the St. Louis VA. Here we have a 5-minute mind-body practice for stress management. We're going to integrate Jinshin Jitsu, which is a finger-holding practice from Japan, with mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, a localizing emotion practice from mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. So to start, let's hold the thumb. As we hold the thumb, we hold that finger just like we're giving the thumb a hug, with that kind of pressure, just like we're giving the thumb a hug. And this is for worry. Now let's move on to the first finger. This is for fear. Hold that first finger just like you're giving it a hug. And now let's move on to the middle finger. This is for anger. Hold your middle finger. And now move on to your ring finger. This is for sadness. Holding that ring finger. And now move on to your pinky finger. This is for your to-do list, the efforting mind. And finally, have one hand come on top of the other, so all the fingertips of the upper hand are touching the palm of the lower hand, and all the fingertips of the lower hand are touching the palm of the upper hand. This is for being overwhelmed. Now wonder to yourself, which of these emotions has been more front and center for me? Has it been more about worry? If so, come back to holding your thumb. Or has fear been more a part of your experience? If so, come back to holding your first finger. Or has anger been more a part of your experience? If so, come back to holding your middle finger. Or has sadness been more a part of your experience? If so, come back to holding your ring finger. Or for you, has been more about your to-do list, your efforting mind? If so, come back to you holding your pinky finger. Or have you been more overwhelmed? If so, come back to that pose with one hand on top of the other. Now let's bridge over to localizing emotion from the mindfulness-based cognitive therapy practice. Here we, step 1, name the emotion. So if you're holding your thumb, if worry has been more present for you, say to yourself silently, there is worry. Step 1 is to name the emotion. So you would say, if you're holding your thumb, you would say, there is worry to yourself. Or if you're holding your first finger, you would say, there is fear. Or if you're holding your middle finger, you'd say, there is anger. Or if you're holding your ring finger, you'd say, there is sadness. Or if you're holding your pinky finger, you say, there is my to-do list, my efforting mind. Or if one hand's over top of the other, you would say, there is being overwhelmed. That's step one, name the emotion. Step two is to localize to a part of your body. Now, sometimes we hear people say, I hold my anger in my clenched jaw, or my worry in the butterflies in my stomach. Wonder to yourself, where are you holding this emotion? The emotion that you named. Where in your body are you holding that emotion? Now, with your imagination, breathe into that part of your body and breathe out from that part of your body. Creating with your imagination a breathing space. So you can breathe into the part of your body holding the emotion and breathe out from this part of your body. Notice how you feel and congratulate yourself for taking this time to be present.
Welcome. I'm Marisha, a whole health coach here at the Portland VA. Together we will briefly explore the concept of mindful awareness, the benefits, and the resources around how you can implement it into your life to improve your health and wellness. I have with me Topher, who is also curious about mindful awareness. Thank you for joining me. Can you tell me what you know about mindfulness?
Well, I was in the doctor's office and I saw this poster with this dog. It said mindful and mindful. It was kind of confusing.
I think I know the poster you're talking about. In the poster, there's a picture of a dog and a guy. The dog is being present, seeing what's in front of him, while the guy has other things on his mind and not seeing what's in front of him. In the poster, the dog is represented as being mindful because he's paying attention on purpose without judgment. These are the components of mindful awareness. Before we jump into different ways to implement a mindful practice within your life, I would like to show everyone the following video.
You may have heard this word mindfulness. It's become something of a buzz phrase of late. So I'm going to give you one simple, serviceable definition, which is this. Mindfulness is the ability to know what's happening in your head at any given moment without getting carried away by it. Imagine how useful this could be. Just as an example, you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off in traffic. How do you normally react? I think most of us, we normally react by having a thought, which is, I'm pissed. And then what happens next? You immediately, habitually, reflexively inhabit that thought. You actually become pissed. There's no buffer between the stimulus and your reaction. With just a little bit of mindfulness, in that same situation, you might notice my chest is buzzing, my ears are turning red, I'm having a starburst of self-righteous thoughts, I'm getting angry. But you don't necessarily have to act on it and chase that person down the road, screaming at them with your kids in the back of the car thinking you've gone nuts. Now, you might be thinking, don't I need to get angry sometimes? Aren't I justified? I would say yes, but probably not as much as you think. The proposition here is not that you should be rendered by mindfulness into some lifeless, non-judgmental blob. The proposition is that you should learn how to respond wisely to things that happen to you, rather than just reacting blindly. And that, my friends, is a superpower. How do you get it? The way to get it is through meditation. I believe that meditation and mindfulness are the next big public health revolution. In the 1940s, if you told somebody you were going running, they would have said, who's chasing you? But then what happened next? The scientists swooped in, they showed that physical exercise is really good for you, and now all of us do it, and if we don't, we feel guilty about it. And that's where I think we're headed with mindfulness and meditation. It's going to join the pantheon of no-brainers like brushing your teeth, eating well, and taking the meds your doctor prescribed for you. Let me just close by saying mindfulness is not going to solve all of your problems. It's not going to render your life a nonstop parade of unicorns and rainbows. Nonetheless, this is a superpower, and one that is accessible by you immediately.
What are your thoughts so far?
I try to practice meditation, but not on a regular basis. Does that count as mindfulness?
It does if it incorporates the components of mindful awareness. Mindful awareness is often thought of the space between thought and action. This space can be the moment you are paying attention to the internal and external factors within yourself. Mindfulness to the individual is about the experience. Now that you've had a chance to get to know what mindful awareness is, think of all the different types of ways that you incorporate it in your day-to-day life. You could be mindful waiting at the bus stop, even getting your lunch, walking from one area to another. The VA even offers mobile apps that can help you with the mindful practice.
I see. So I've been practicing mindfulness all the time in my day-to-day life. But I don't like meditation there because I admit it still makes me sleepy.
There's various different mindful practices. If meditation is not your preferred practice, try working with myself or one of the many other VA whole health coaches located here at the Portland campus and at the VA clinics. We are available to assist and have multiple resources to aid you on your health and wellness journey. Thank you.